We have sound. I hate it when this happens. It's Monday though, right? So let's look at Monday numbers again here. 6,554 units on the market today. So those of you following the channel, thanks. 131. Thank you. No, that's a much bigger number than what we're used to seeing. We're usually about 5,500. 4137 hit the market. 3392 went under contract. And if you look at this here, you can see that blue line, which is the number of new listings that come on over 7 days. And then you see the yellow line, which is significantly lower by about 700 to 800 units. But I want to wait for this to shake out tomorrow and see what the 4th of July does to us. So the actual 4th, which was last Sunday, is no longer included in this, but we need Monday to shake out as well. Then we'll get a Tuesday to Tuesday comparison, and that'll tell us whether this gap of 700 units is going to change. So what I want to do is I want to look at what's really going on out there and then figure out, is this temporary? Is it only happening here? Why is it happening? And so I kind of want to cruise the news a little bit and take a look. The first resource that I want to go to is take a look here at the Cromford report and show you that we are seeing a drop in the CMI, the index, and that is, look at Gilbert here. They're at 374. They were around 450, so they went down around 22%. So we're continuing to see that decline. But then here, what we're seeing here is average list price per square foot active listings. So I want to explain this one for a minute first. You're looking at average list price per square foot over all classes, single family, condo, trailer, luxury, and all price points. So if you have fewer homes in the luxury market getting listed, then the average price per square foot will drop. If you have more, the average price per square foot will increase. So when you look at these charts, you have to filter things out by price point. And what it's showing, it's not showing that we're having a drop in prices on what we're going to call the middle of the market. We're seeing not as many homes in the luxury market being put on. So it's an interesting thing. But I do want to show you something here on this that I looked at, because I remember having an interview with Tina Tambour from the Cromford report. And I told her, I said, my experience on condos is they're the last one to go up in price, but the first one to come down. Now, she respectfully disagreed, but I thought, well, let me look and see if that's what's happening this time. So let's take a look at this data here, and let's filter out everything and just grab condos. So I'm going to grab the condos here, and look what we see here. Average list price per square foot on active listings for condos, down, down, down. Could that mean that condos are the last ones up, the first ones down? Now, that's just kind of a broad brush taking a look at things. We're still seeing here that listings over, sales over the list price is still up at the 60% range. This is recent data. This is all July. We're seeing down here that the number that they're going over list is remaining about the same. It's actually gone up a little bit in the $500,000, $600,000 range. It's gone from 20,000 to 25,000. That's a pretty significant bump. So we're not seeing the beginning of any kind of price decrease. Real Trends here says that, buyers are hoping, they want a second chance of the housing market. And it's saying here that while Yun, and this is a economist, and other professionals are optimistic about trends in the housing market, consumers may be a bit more pessimistic. I think that's what we're seeing. During his presentation, Buffini shed light on consumers' concerns about the home market by citing top 3 housing-related queries on Google. When is the housing market going to crash is a big search. People believe a crash is coming, and they're asking this question all the time, Buffini said. However, the Buffini report notes that leading economists say a crash isn't imminent. Why is the market so hot? How much over asking price should I offer? There's a lot of searching going on out there, people trying to figure out what's going on in the market. Now, interest rates are staying about the same. They're at 3.04 today. They were 3.04 yesterday. Then I go and look at this housing bubble blog, and I find this one, once again interesting. And this kind of tells us what's going on in other places. So Um, so it's saying here, let's see, where did I find the article that I wanted here? It was, so for the 30% of home buyers who were able to get their house for less than the original asking price, they were about to negotiate between 3 and 5% off on average, and that's in Idaho. And it's saying that Ada County's market continued its hot streak into June. However, a new trend of homeowners listing their properties is beginning to emerge. June marked the third straight month of inventory of homes increasing, with June inventory up 27.9%. We're seeing that here. And it says about 70% of existing homes sold in June sold for more than the original asking price of 6.8% more. And we're seeing that here. What they also mentioned in this article is we're seeing that people have done what I call shooting for the moon. We are seeing a lot of pricing across the country. People are getting a little over enthusiastic about the market, and so they're pricing hotter than they should, and they're pulling back. So the price changes that we're seeing are not price changes because the market's going down. It's price changes because people are saying, well, that didn't work. So we're continuing to see that. If we look on here on BlackRock, and they're tracking, a number of forbearance plans, and we're down 12% from the same time last month. Nearly 2/3 of the more than 325,000 plans reviewed for extension or removal over the prior week resulted in exits. In other words, they got out of the plans. That's the highest weekly exit rate in more than 6 months and the highest weekly removal volume since the first wave of plans went through their 12-month reviews a few months ago. So the forbearance plans are just smoothly coming out. Does not look like there's going to be a wave of foreclosures because of that. And we're just not seeing people saying, well, I can't redraw my note. And they're exiting their plans. And exiting their plans mean they've done one of three things. They negotiated another term, they sold their house, or they just repaid what they owed. There were a lot of people out there that just said, well, I'm not going to make my mortgage payment and I'll just pay down my debt. And because of that, now the banks are like, I've got too much cash. The banks have way too much cash. There's not a lot of consumer lending going on out there, and that's not good for banks. So they don't know what to do, and the Fed is kind of in a pinch. They're saying that they want to have full employment, and they want to get inflation to go above 2%. Well, so far in the short term, they've more than accomplished that. But there's still all this money just sitting out there and not going anywhere, and people are not borrowing. And so that's eventually going to cause a problem. I don't know what kind of problem yet, and I don't know when. There's so much data out there now showing that the generations behind us, they call the millennials and Generation Z, are waiting to purchase houses. And I think what we're seeing on the data now with inventory coming up is, and this is nationally, not just Phoenix, people are saying, well, it's a good time to sell a house. I will get multiple offers, and you are, and you're going to get more for your house. And there's a lot of people now making the decision to go ahead and sell their house and get a new build across the country. It's like, well, the pandemic's behind us. Let's go ahead and list the house. Let's get a new build. That's a bit of a challenge because they're so far behind. Talking to a young man that works for a company that builds these large warehouses, and he said business is just brisk, but he said, we used to order like some steel joists, and we would order them today, we'd get them in August. Now they're saying maybe November. He said it's that bad. Lots of major supply chain issues. There's a shortage of truckers. We can't get things from here to there, and part of the reason is they're just not getting paid enough, and people have moved on to different careers. There is shortage of employees everywhere. So this situation that we're in is going to move slowly. And so as we see inventory start to come up, buyers are kind of hanging back, waiting for something to change because they've had the year of the buyer beatdown. So this looks like kind of a resting pattern, but it's also part of just natural economics. And something gets too high priced, then buyers get priced out. They stop looking. And I think that's what's happening. Just like, I can't do this anymore. I've been outbid 15 times. I'm just going to wait. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that today is too difficult for me. And this looks like that's what's happening across the country. So if you are selling, you're thinking of selling. I know I mentioned a few weeks ago, If you look at our inventory trend and it starts creeping around 7,000 units, you're going to know that it's a good time to list before things kind of even out. At 7,000 units, you're still going to get multiple offers. As we start to get up to 10,000 units, then it'll become a more balanced market. You'll still get a good price and a good offer, but you'll get some real doozies at 7,000 units. And it's going to happen before your friends and neighbors actually see it and feel it, and before it gets on the Channel 10 news. So I'm kind of calling and saying that 500 more units from now may be your sell signal, not because it's going to drop after that. It's just that it's starting to be, as a seller, you like being able to move that house in 2 days, right? And at 7,000 units, you're still going to be able to do that. Are you going to be able to do that 10,000, 12,000, 15? No. So as buyer traffic starts to back off, and we sit here at 7,000 units, we're only at 500 homes to go. I think that's a good sell signal. So something to consider, although selling and moving in the summer in Arizona is just not fun. Not something I would want anybody to sign up for. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and sorry about the audio issues. Every time I restart this computer, it switches the default and turns off my microphone for reasons I have yet to understand. Have a great Monday. Take on the week.